In this problem, we're given the slope and we're asked to find a missing coordinate using that slope and coordinates that we already have. We can do this by using the slope formula. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to start by writing out our two coordinates. And I'm going to do something a little odd here. I'm going to write them in the opposite order that they were in. Now here's the reason. If I look at my x values, -2 and -3, -3 is the smaller x value. And I want to list the smaller x value first and label it as x1, making this y1, and x2, y2. Now the reason I want to do this is that this is going to help make the problem a little bit easier in terms of some of the negative signs that I'm going to see later. You can work the problem without doing this. It will end up being the exact same answer. However, if I put my smaller x value first and label it as x1, things come out a little nicer. So I've just written down my points. I labeled them x1, y1, x2, and y2, but I actually have some extra information here. I know that the slope is -9. And so what I can do now is I can go to my trusty slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and substitute in all the values that I know. I know what m is. M is -9. y2 is -10 minus y1, which is f. And then I have x2, which is -2, minus x1, which is -3. Now that I've done this, I can do some simplification. Nothing really I can do to -10 minus f to make that any more simple. But I can, down here, find that -2 minus -3 is going to be +1. Now, there are a couple places I can go from here. One of the things I can do is I can say that, well, anything divided by 1 is just itself, and actually get rid of this fraction and just say -9 equals -10 minus f. Or, another thing I can do is recognize that this is a fraction equal to something else, and that this is a situation where I am welcome to cross multiply. Now in this case the results are kind of trivial, but if this number ends up being something other than 1, this is sort of your go-to technique. So we're going to do 1 times -10 minus f equals -9 times 1 would be -9. Now I can distribute this 1, which is going to be trivial, it doesn't change anything. And I find that -10 minus f equals -9. I add 10 to both sides. This is just solving equations. And I find that -f is going to be equal to 1. So that -f, that's the same as saying -1 times f. So if I divide both sides by -1, I find that f equals -1. And I have found my missing coordinate.